Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to BCB Live, the Friday edition. We got a lot going on here. It's Drive Safe Dave along with Buckle Up Bob sitting in for Sir Rick. Sir Rick's not going to be here today. We'll be back next week. And we also have the producer manning the boards, shaking the wires, and controlling all the tech problems that come along with whatever it is we do here. I still don't know how all this works. The panels are still open. The wires are still on the floor. We got stuff going on here. It's chaos. I don't even know. Are you finding small animals back in there in that machine? What's going on in there?
No, there actually is a mouse, I believe, up in the ceiling. I hear it squeak by every day. Usually when Rick's talking about Freight and Review, that's when I hear the mouse squeak.
So you've actually heard a mouse squeak. The only time I've ever heard a mouse squeak is when I've stepped on one.
You stepped on one?
Oh, yeah.
Not me. I ain't getting there.
I've stepped on. That's the only time I've ever heard a squeaky mouse.
Well, you know, we talk about the technical difficulties, but the problem is we are so out of the know, we don't even know if he's causing them.
Yeah.
You just say,
yeah, sure. There's so many problems. I'm busy all day. I've got so many tech issues I got going on. I can't even tell you about the wiring problems I've got with the mice.
Well, we'll know next time.
You know what?
Mouse got into the wire.
I'm going to give you a hint. And if you really believe there's a mouse up there, I'm going to give you a trick. It's called a mouse trap. I know it was invented a long time ago. You put a piece of peanut butter is the best thing to use. Have you ever used peanut butter?
Yep.
Peanut butter is the best thing to use.
Huh?
So I'm not trying to
kill the mouse.
They can't pull the cheese out.
What if there's a whole like group of them? You know.
Then you reset the trap until nobody does it anymore. They're not smart enough to remember that Bob got it yesterday or Carl.
Well, I thought
where's Carl? Oh yeah, well he got peanut butter and now he's no longer with us.
Now we did when we lived on a farm, and so we always had to, once you got rid of the mouse, you kind of burnt all the metal. You took a match and heated up the metal and burnt any scent off. My mom always made us do that. Did you ever have to do that?
No, we just used, I wasn't on a farm, but my uncle was out in Acton, Texas, so I'd go out there. They had cats. I don't know how to explain it. They had a natural mouse trap called a cat. They didn't have to feed it. And you know what? It was pretty impressive. That thing took care of itself, and could get field mice, get barn mice, you name it. That thing would handle business.
Have you ever seen a dog get one?
You know what? No, not really, because I've never actually seen a dog. But this cat, let me just
You've
tell you.
never seen a dog?
This cat, I swear this cat was the toughest cat I've ever known. Didn't get into a lot of petting, but kind of just walked around like, dogs steered clear of him. This thing weighed like, I'd say good 14 pounds, strong, big cat, half a tail, half an ear, like always a snarl everywhere it went, just kind of walked around. Dog steered clear of it. It kind of like would walk up, cows. It would walk up, walk around. Nobody jacked with him. Nobody jacked with him. He was tough.
What's the biggest rat you've ever seen?
I do a show with him every day.
Whoa. I'm telling you, this is the only time I was scared, and every cat would be. We were in Chicago for a tournament, and we were after an after-hours establishment, probably where we shouldn't be, and we're walking up to the door, and I see this thing chasing a cat. And I'm like, it must be a dog, right? And it stops under this car. And so we get up there about 6 feet away, and we started to bend down, and the tail is flipping back and forth. The only problem is that tail was one of those long, scaly ones. It was an actual rat that was chasing whatever underneath that car, and I'm like, all right, we got to go, because, that rat had to be close to 2 foot.
Have you ever, do you know what a nutria is? Sounds like a nutria. You know what a nutria is?
Yeah, it's like a giant.
Like a giant, it has a big rat tail, but it's like a water animal.
And does it live in the city?
They live around water. They live around like
sewers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, around sewers and stuff. And they're
scared to live in daylight time. I said, I've never seen anything that big chasing a cat. And I'm like, okay.
Sounds like one of those nutrients there.
Apparently, the rats in New York though are pretty big.
Oh yeah,
you know what? Videos of those. And they're aggressive too.
Yes.
Well, they'll come after you.
Oh yeah, rats.
All the major cities, New York, I've heard horror stories.
Yeah, rats. You know what? I'm not a big fan.
No.
Not a big fan of rodents. Period. That's why I think cats are good. A lot of people are, I'm not a cat person. I'm saying, well, then are you a mouse person? Because I'm telling you, if you want to get rid of, and believe it or not, cat pee will keep mice away. just normal
The
cat.
scent?
Yeah, the scent of cat pee. Because you know what?
They don't want to mess
They don't want to mess with a cat because they lose. They usually mice lose with that. But anyway, we digress. Here we
Speaking
are.
of
We're
rats,
talking
let's
about.
talk about.
Huh?
Let's talk about.
Yeah, you called Sir Rick one?
No, I did not.
man.
I misspoke. My apologies, Sir Rick. It didn't
That's
mean it.
monster.com, as he says, right?
Absolutely. So, Bob, I'll tell you, since I have you on here and we don't get to talk about it a lot because let's talk about the Olympics just for a second.
Yes.
You like to watch the Olympics.
Love the Olympics.
And do you like, is it all Olympics or winter or summer or you don't care?
I don't care. I love the Olympics. I love rooting for our country. I love seeing some of the amazing, unique stories, I love the heartfelt ones, like Shaun White last night saying goodbye. I love his interview because he said, at his first Olympics, he was the young boy, the youngest, and now he's
13,
the oldest.
yeah.
And now he's the oldest. He says it just kind of ran its full circle. Unfortunately, he didn't have the outcome he wanted, but it was just really. This means a lot to a lot of athletes. When I was a kid growing up, a lot of these athletes wouldn't even have the chance to compete because these sporting events weren't even involved, like the half pipe and some of these aerial tricks. They weren't even in the Olympics.
Oh, no.
back
A
then.
lot of those have evolved into something else. And I guess if you want to consider the half pipe snowboarding, Shaun White is the greatest of all time, right?
Yes.
Without question.
He put that on the map.
Yeah, I mean, with his aerial acrobatics and what he brought to the sport, he is absolutely the greatest of all time. He did come in fourth in the competition. They don't give a medal for fourth.
No.
But the guy that actually won the gold
From
that
China?
I watched, it was.
He did tricks nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that many circles in the air and land on your feet. I mean that.
Well, you and I can't.
No, that would be like a tragedy story. I mean that would be like some accident, bad accident.
We got a caller.
Oh, and let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh wait, they just lowered their hand.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if you got, I'll tell you.
Sorry about
What
that.
is your favorite Olympic sport?
Yeah, if you got a favorite Olympic sport, let us know what it is and why.
Mine is curling. I love
Get
watching.
out of
No,
here!
I'm telling you.
Come on.
Dave, this is a true story. A company
Get
I
outta
worked
here.
for, I had to go to a town once a week, and I stay at this hotel. I came in, and I always go down to the bar, have a beer and a sandwich, and I went straight to my room, and they called up the room, and they go, "Hey, how come you're not coming down?" I said, "Well, you had basketball on, and I want to watch curling." And they said, "Come down, we'll turn it on." The next night I went in there, they had the rules on the bar for everybody. They had curling on the TV. I do love curling. I think it's an amazing.
I have skied. I lived in Germany. I skied a lot, and to me, the downhill is the most phenomenal event. Now, look, I get it. There's bobsledding and there's fast events and all that, but y'all, I mean, to go 78 miles an hour on a set of skis down a mountain, I don't even know how you have the vision. Of it. I mean, I remember going skiing down mountains, and I remember going fast as a young man, and just crazy. But you can't imagine just how. First of all, the steep. I mean, it's almost a cliff that you're skiing down on those because you're basically falling is all you're doing on the slope. You're just a controlled fall is all it is, straight down the mountain. That's what it is.
Yeah, because some of the angles they showed on that downhill were at the very beginning. It's like a 75 to 80 degree. I mean, it's not like this. It's like this coming, like you said, straight down to get that speed to go into the.
Oh, well, they're going. All they're doing is racing straight down the
Yeah.
mountain, and they got some turns and stuff. But I'm telling you, when you watch them, they'll come over a little rise. They'll be in the air for several seconds and then barely touch the ground, and then they're back in the air, and they're trying to be tucked, and they're trying to create less drag. And I mean, you're talking. Anyway. I enjoy watching the downhill because it's so fast.
I do have a quiz for you because I just found the answer.
What is it?
What is the difference between skeleton and luge? Does anybody know?
I'm forward
It's
and
like
backwards.
It really is.
Feet first and head first.
That's really all it was.
Yeah, I think it's feet first and
I
head
watched
first.
those women last night, and they hit 75 miles an hour. You were talking about the downhill?
Yeah.
75 miles an hour, and your belly's on you're this far from the ice, and your head's exposed. I mean, if you wipe out, the head is the first thing that gets hit.
Yeah, the nice thing
unbelievable.
is those are curved, like circled up, so that even if you're still You're going, when they wipe out, they continue to go. I mean, at 75 miles an hour on slippery surfaces.
I just don't like my head being the first thing that's going to hit something if I wipe
At 75 miles an hour, you're even if it's your feet, your head's not far behind. I'm just telling
I don't know, I just feel safer.
But I think that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Head first and feet first.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really it. One, you're on your belly, head first. The other, you're on your back, feet first.
Yeah. Either way, it just seems
dangerous.
Crazy,
along
right?
with the downhill, yeah.
But yeah, I watched a little bit. You figure skater guy?
I'm not a big fan of sports that got all that subjective scoring. I've watched over the years. It's gotten better. They've really eliminated. But man, years ago, you would always see when the Russian skaters were out there, the lowest score they got was from the U.S. judge, and the highest one was from their own country. And then when the other way around, when the Americans were out there skating, the Russians would always have the lowest score.
From the judges.
That's kind of why I like curling. There's just it's competition. There's no judgment.
There's no subjective.
Yeah, you just do what you got to do, and that's why I love some of the downhill. Right?
It's time.
It's time.
Yeah, whoever's got the best time.
Yeah, whoever's got the best time and don't wipe out. I do like that, and the bobsleds, things of that, where that subjectiveness is minimized.
I saw. I was watching a little bit, and I'll tell you. And I'm not this guy either. The cross country. I don't even. First of all, I can't even breathe in the cold weather, right? And then they're going uphill and downhill, and they're going straight. I think the biathlon's cool, where you do cross country and you get penalized if you don't hit the targets, and then you got to do more laps.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because that's not subjective. There's no style points.
Yeah.
What I really loved was the combined the other day. It was one of the most amazing races. They ski jump first, and based on how you finish there, you get a second start. And then you got 6 miles of cross-country skiing.
Get out of here.
And this group of 4 was way up there, and the Japanese guy was first because he had won the ski jump. He fell off. Then there was 3. And then this guy that was in a group 25 seconds behind him, right, started catching him on the last lap, and with about 300 yards to go, he made up 14 seconds. And just goes flying by. I said, "How do you have that kind of energy 6 miles after skiing?"
I don't even have.
It was an amazing race.
I don't have that much energy on the way to the refrigerator. I'm
that
just
is
telling you, on the way to the microwave to get my popcorn.
Fake news, producer. What do you think?
I don't.
Is that
Let's
fake
fact
news?
check that.
We're gonna have to get
Dover's
his wife
wife.
on the.
I don't have that.
Get her on the line.
Yeah. Huh?
Get her on the line.
Yeah, she's gonna tell you. She's gonna tell you I don't go to that. She said she'll go.
She'll go to the.
She'll go get it, and I'll still be sitting there all the time. She's great. That's probably part of my problem. I don't have to get up very often. She does all the running around, and I know it's horrible. I'm a bad guy. All right, let's take a. We got a couple of stories in trucking that we want to get to in just a second, but we'll take a 60-second break. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, and welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive Safe Dave here, along with Buckle Up Bob and the producer man in the boards. Jack, by the way, how are you doing over there?
Doing well today. Everything's running smoothly. We don't have any issues.
No mice?
No mice. It's just a little warm in here.
It is a little warm in here. What are we going to do about changing the overall temp in the room? Are we going to...
I think we're just going to wait till we move.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe we might put a fan in the door and let it cool in here during the evening.
Would a muzzle help?
A muzzle. What, for me?
Well, it just stops
all that hot air. Yeah.
Oh, on-air muzzle? Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard.
I'm just defending Sir Rick after you called him a
Hey,
rat.
the muzzles mandate is being lifted, by the way, and y'all are trying to redo the muzzle lifting. Hey, so real quick, just a couple of trucking stories. Number one, they have the ATA, the American Trucking Association, actually denounced the border crossing blockade by their association, saying that they don't at any time promote someone damaging or hurting the economy of the United States for any reason, for whatever reason, and they do want always to help promote business, commerce, travel, trucking, whatever, as it is safely. And they said that this does not set to their standards, and so they actually denounced it to the Trucking Association. By the way, the blockade has been going on. I did hear in the news that it's starting to really have a negative impact on some of the businesses on the
cars.
Car
New
parts.
Cars.
Yes.
Yeah, we already have a hard problem with getting cars as it is, and now they're already shutting down shifts, plants, and they're making it very difficult to build the auto industry because that's where Detroit. It's Detroit.
Well, and
guys,
what's
y'all know where Detroit is,
what's
right?
across the border from Detroit? Canada.
Huh?
Canada,
Yeah,
right?
no, I mean,
What's that city that's right next to it? Is it? What is it? Windsor?
Windsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can go straight up out of Windsor, go straight over, and it'll take you to Toronto. It's about 2.5 hours away to Toronto.
Okay.
Up that highway. I've driven that road many times. My wife has some family in Kitchener. We usually fly to Detroit and then drive across because it's so much cheaper than flying to Canada. And
Travel tip by Dave.
Huh?
Travel tip.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper. You can, you get an international flight, they just jack up the price, and then you get an in-state flight. You can get one in Detroit for almost, really cheap, and then boom, you're across in 2 hours. So, anyway, but that bridge, I've been across that bridge. I've been across that many times. That bridge right there. And
did you have to say eh?
No,
No,
no, but you know what? It
Johnny
is
Hortons?
it's quite a different than a lot of places I've been to. It's one of the largest in the world, right in the United States. Border crossing, it's one of the largest for trucking because they got a bunch of these stations for trucks to hit, and I don't mean like 2 or 3. I mean like 12 or 15 different segregated stations for trucking and to go in for border crossing on each side. It's pretty impressive when you go there, but it's all blockaded right now, and now they're blockading many other bridges along the Canadian border, and it's going to continue until something breaks. I honestly believe that the government is either going to react negatively towards the drivers and start getting them out of there, or I anticipate something like that's going to happen within the next week, because or the United States is going to do something. I really would like to see that we roll back some of the mandates that maybe if the United States...
they didn't have them at the start of the pandemic, right?
No.
Right? So, drivers have been doing this for what, the past 2 years?
Yes.
Almost 3 years?
Yes.
So why is it different?
Because
why do we have to have
Canada passed a rule.
Right, but I'm saying before even the vaccines came out, there were still drivers, doing it, right?
Yeah.
So, just why are you messing with people? People don't want to be messed with, right?
You know what? I get it. I understand. I'm trying to make sense of it all too. And I'll be honest with you. We've got a great interview on Monday with a lady from Canada that has been on the ground in Ottawa. Do you remember that interview? That she's going. We're going to run that on Monday.
And actually, with that, we got Mr. Curtis Benedict.
Hey, Curtis. Good morning.
What's going on, Curtis?
Hey, good morning, guys. Isn't this whole trucker thing because of the mandates that you have to have a shot
Yes.
and boosted now
Yes.
to get back and forth across the border,
That
correct?
is correct, sir. Yes. Or you have to have a negative test and quarantine for 14 days.
Right. Well, what are they saying? 70 or 80% of the drivers aren't?
70. It's the small percentage that are not. The smaller percentage that are not.
But the other 20%, they're like me. I'm not a vax either way kind of guy. I'm a long-term data guy, and there's no long-term data for me on this. You know, all of the other shots that we've ever had before had to go through decades of testing, and now all of a sudden we have a shot and they want us to, you know, get it, and it's only 2 years old. And there's people that just don't trust the science right now. And with the government and the CDC flip-flopping every 2 hours on what they're doing, I mean, who do we trust anymore? So they want to pick and choose what goes in their body. And I think every single American or Canadian or whoever should have that right to pick and choose what goes in their body. So that's all I've got.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And you know what? Here we are. We've got a lot of sides of this fence, right? And there's strong polarity. I mean, there's a strong side on each side. I truly believe that this is an ongoing issue that that we're each having to make our own decision on. I think that I'm a vaccine guy. I am a vaccine guy. However, I do believe you have the right to choose what you do to yourself. I am a vaccine guy. I do believe in the science. I believe that necessity is the mother of all invention. I mean, you look at the start of World War II, we were flying biplanes. In 4 years later, we got the nuclear age, and we're flying around in jets and rockets.
Yeah.
I mean, it just because of the necessity, because people were dying. And I think that's where we are. I think it happens that way. And I look, where you are and what you believe in this instance is okay. I mean, that's the beauty of this country. That's the beauty of the way our ideology, that we can agree to disagree about things. I'm okay with it. I'm okay if we disagree. Bob, if you and I have a difference of opinion, I'm okay with it.
But I think the issue lies within Canada itself, though, right? Because it's a different mindset there. So that's
and it's
something
because of the mandate on the border crossing.
Right, and so it's not. We shouldn't just bring it back to the U.S., right? Because what's going on is in Canada, right?
Believe it or not, the rule applies both
border.
ways. But the rule applies both ways. We actually have
the way
the
that
same
the Canadian government has gone about it is what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, but I truly believe that if there's many things that we can do here. If the United States repealed their rule on this border, the Canadians would have no choice but to pull theirs back.
Hey, and with that, we got Miss Kendra Larkin, or maybe it's Rick Larkin. I don't know.
What's up, Rick?
Self-muted. Maybe
Good morning.
Well, they're self-muted. Maybe they accidentally raised their hand.
Okay.
No, that's okay. But anyway, we have many rules, many different takes on this, and you know what? It's okay to disagree or agree.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure. I think if everybody digs deep, what I hear a lot, again, and I welcome everybody's opinion, is it's not the science they don't trust. They don't trust the government behind it.
I get it.
Because, when you stop and think about the logics.
Because of the money, the $30 billion,
the 100 years ago, we had the big flu, or the big pandemic, right?
Spanish flu.
Yeah, the Spanish flu. And you had to hurry up and get stuff out. And technology wasn't near what it is now.
Yeah,
so it just seems like technology, we applaud it in so many areas, but yet we use it and say, well, there's not enough data. But I get that. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's more that we just don't trust the government and the agencies behind
I get it.
And all that.
And also the Spanish flu was restricted by the ability of high-speed travel. Yeah. We didn't have people flying around in jets all over the place infecting everybody. So
and you had polio, you had all these things that were.
Yeah, so I get it. We've got we could go on and on about the vaccine. I just wanted to report that
Careful, we shouldn't say vaccine too much because we might get canceled on YouTube.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. But what we do want to do is we want to make sure that we understand that we support truck drivers.
Yes.
And we support the industry, and we support their beliefs and what they do, but we definitely don't want to hurt this economy.
I also want to add, though, I think it could be a little bit more than just about the vaccine, too. I could also think about the drivers themselves have been on the front lines the whole time.
Absolutely.
And there's a lack of disrespect for because of the vaccine requirement, they're just, blanketing it across all the drivers, there's just a lack of, I think there's just not enough respect for the drivers themselves,
Absolutely.
Especially coming from
and you're talking
the
about,
capital.
This is really targeting this industry alone.
Yes.
This is truly targeting, I'm not talking about somebody that travels back and forth every day. I'm not talking about somebody how many people actually fly back
Yes.
and forth every single day to the United States. Every day they don't. There are some border crossings. There are people that drive back and forth, but truly, a business and industry, it is not affected greater than this right here, this mandate.
Plus, why would you want to add more paperwork and slowdowns to trade and commerce,
Great
right?
question, but we'll get into what
Yeah.
we'll get into. We'll have our discussion on how government doesn't self-perpetuate itself one day, and how it does do that exactly that very. How do we generate more paperwork, and how do we create more problems and more? Are you serious? They'll do that all day long, and what it does is it creates a whole nother, group of people that have to do the work. It creates a whole nother group of people that have to be, monitor the system. And
but you're right. The industry has to support the drivers.
Absolutely. So anyway, I was just saying that the ATA reported that they do not promote, and they actually denounced this. That's all I was reporting. And I didn't want to go into any great detail of that. But Bob, before we go to get the phrase it pays, I've got to know. Nobody has said, and I haven't gotten it. I don't have your prediction for the Super Bowl as we close in, and I want to know. And I just send it in on your deal. Send in your Super Bowl prediction. I want to hear what it is. I want to know what it is. I'm looking for the right one. I've got my own. I've already gave it out on Wednesday. Bob, what's yours?
Are you going to take the over or under on 48?
40?
Well, actually, the line probably could have changed, but let's just say
48?
yeah. You're going to take the total score over or under?
Over.
Take the over.
31-27.
So
Rams.
Rick took the under. So we'll see who's right.
I got 31-27 Rams, but I am rooting like crazy for the Bengals.
Okay, I got you.
Because the Rams left St. Louis.
Jack, I need to know what you got.
Oh, what do I have? Oh, what I got? I'll take the over.
Okay, and final score.
Oh, I don't know. I can't do final scores.
Why?
Yeah, you can.
Can't mean you don't want to.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't want to.
What do you mean you can't do the final score? What do you think? How do you think?
I don't pay attention, but I will
Obviously, if
take
you're
the
taking
over.
the overs,
I will take the
yes.
over.
If you're taking the overs, then obviously each team's going to do more than 25.
Yeah, but to say like what they're gonna do individually, yeah, I don't know.
It's a guess. Hey, it's a guess, brother.
You act like we do know.
Yeah, whoa, drive safe Dave over here. I was made fun of because I took the overs. And
Well, no, because you said the over was at 72, and then I looked it up, and it was at 48.
no, I said my score was 70.
Here. Let me get
30.
the lines. Let me
I
get the
said
lines
37, 34, and of course,
Oh, gotcha.
that's 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course I'm going to take the over 70 because that's my final score.
Okay. Rams are favored by 4 points.
Yep,
I'm gonna
that's
take the
what I got.
Bengals. I want the Bengals. I would do +4, right? That's what I would do. Bengals +4.
Yeah, you would take the 4
Because even if they
points
lost
of
by a field goal, I'd still win my bet, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the big, but anyway, so we've got this game coming up. So if you have anybody send in their score,
No,
okay.
no participation.
All right, then let's see if they
we
want
want
some
that
money.
participation.
Let's see if they want to win some money.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Phrase that pays times.
Yeah, just give me a driver. I need to know.
Come on,
Yeah.
drivers.
Come on,
Daryl Young.
Is it 200?
Daryl Young.
Is it 200?
It is 200.
You're self-muted.
Come on, Daryl. It's not your birthday.
Daryl knows it.
He might be typing it.
Not while you're driving.
Oh.
All
Tennessee
right.
by 4.
All right. What is it?
28-24.
What do you say?
Well, he's talking about the score, but we need the phrase that pays.
The phrase that pays for $200
Oh,
right
no.
now.
There was no phrase that pays this week.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was.
No, it wasn't. I didn't hear it.
Okay. What's your score then, real
Then
quick?
that's strike one.
28-24.
28-24. Got it.
Who?
He's taking the Rams.
Cincy.
Oh, you're
Cincy.
taking the Bengals?
Cincy.
There you go.
That's right.
What's
All
one?
right.
Right.
That's
Strike one.
still and he's taking the over.
All right. Let's see here. Harvey Shaw.
Harvey Shaw,
Harvey.
right out of Tennessee.
Right.
Morning, everybody.
Good
What up,
morning,
man?
Harvey.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, come on. I need to know if you want $200.
I have a mind-blowing revelation. Listen to the safest station in the nation.
That's
Ding,
$200.
ding, 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 ding.
That's $200. Hey, Harvey, before you get out of here, tell me what that means to you.
If you want to get, excited about things every day and stuff, listen to this. Yeah, just listen to the Safest Station in the Nation. Learn things every day that you might not know, and just use it and put it to use every day. You'll be amazed at what you can learn sometimes on it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shaw.
That's what I think.
That's exactly what it means. I'll tell you, Bob. Hey, Harvey Shaw. Well, and you know what? Congratulations on $200. Do you have a pick for the game?
Oh, I just muted him.
Oh, you didn't? Never mind.
Yeah, sorry. I got ahead of myself there.
Oh yeah, make sure you make a note. Send that to HR.
I will.
Yeah, let's
HR
get
and payroll.
Let's get this guy some cash. And Harvey, just remember when you're in town and you're going to lunch, just remember who your buddy is over here.
Remember, Dave doesn't get up to get it himself. You have to serve it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll drive.
All right, and with that, we're gonna go to a break.
Come on.
All right. Hey, good morning. Welcome to this Friday to this BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. I am Buckle Up Bob, and we are going to get you started off with a little bit of traffic. Hey, we're going to start with our typical DFW Fort Worth area. And again, it looks a lot better than it has the last 2 or 3 days. Folks, the loop looks great. You just got some minor stop and go. I don't see anything that's over 10 minutes. It doesn't appear to be any major accidents. 35W, the northbound lane looks a lot better. It's in orange, so some stop and go, just some slow movement. But all in all, not too bad. The red is shorter up here in the traffic area once you get north of the 820 loop. Even the 30 eastbound lane that usually stretches from 30 to 360 is a little bit smaller this morning as well. So we got a pretty good commute going on in the DFW area. So you just need to remember, slow down, increase your space, right? And be patient. Let them in. Houston also looks good. We've been having issues all the way back out here on 10 near Katy and that. Not too bad. Just some little bumps there where you're going to stop and go once you get inside 99. But the loop is clear except for just a little section up on the northern part, just east and west of the 45 as you come down. 45 come from the south, looks good. So again, Houston, you've got a really good commute. Stay on your loops, and you should be fine this morning. So as we look at Kansas City is always usually pretty good. They had a couple issues yesterday, but it looks great. There's just not a lot going on. A little section here on the northbound, just inside 435 loop and 470, but everything looks good. The major arteries coming in. 35 coming from the south, 49 looks good. 70, both directions coming into the city looks good. And then when you get north of the city, 29, 35 again looks great. So Kansas City, you've got a great commute going on this morning. As we look at Chicago, they've been good all week. They still look good. 80, 94 crossing the state lines of Indiana, Illinois looks good. A slight little backup on the northbound side lanes down by Manuka on 80, but all in all, not too bad. You can see the loops, 294 looks good. We got a little bit, there it is. 355 up here by Bloomingdale, Glendale Heights, Itasca. You got a little bit of an issue coming right here at this merge point. So be on the lookout there. Might be an accident. It's dark maroon, so I'm going to say there's an accident going on at that merge point. But the rest of your loops look great. 94 coming from the north looks good. 90, 88, all look great. 55 just looks awesome coming into the city. And, of course, your loop 294 looks good in Chicago this morning. Atlanta, wow. This is about the best it's looked in a long time. You got your normal areas, you know, and we'll zoom out a little bit here. 20 eastbound from 6 all the way to the 285 loop on the eastbound lanes. You've got a pretty good backup here, so you're going to expect about a 20-minute delay there. 85 looks pretty good. It's not red anyway. It's still backed up all the way past Pleasant Hill and 316, but it's not red yet. So, folks, pretty good commute coming in. Hey, just a reminder for you drivers out there that aren't aware, it is a Georgia state law. You cannot pass through inside the loop unless you're delivering. You must take the loop around the city of Atlanta. It is a state law. Avoid that kind of headache. And again, your best bet, come to the southern part of the loop that's usually always clear, and come down and around if you can. As we go on into Nashville, we have our typical slowdown on 24 northbound. It is backed up again past Walnut Ridge and down to 266. So again, expect some delays there. We got a big mess right at the 40-24 merge, and as you come into Nashville itself. So a pretty good stretch of back up there. You can expect about a 20 to 25-minute delay potential. And then our normal 24-65 merge on the southbound lane on 24 as you come to the northern part of the city. That's always backed up, and it is again this morning. 40, if you come down to the loop 440 and go around, you're going to have a much smoother commute going east and west as you come into the Nashville area. So be patient, everybody. Nashville's going to be a little bit of a problem this morning. Our D.C. area looks pretty bad this morning, folks. Again, the loop looks much better than normal, but a lot of dark red. 295 has some major backups on the southbound lane. You are stretched back up to just south of Russet, all the way down to 95 and past into New Carrollton and Woodlawn. So, again, you've got a major backup as you come down on 295. 95 looks pretty good till you get outside by Rocky Acres, Calverton, Maryland, or Virginia. I can't ever remember where that stops. But you've got, as you come in the 95 loop, it is a nightmare. It's backed up, and even if you go either direction, you're going to have a problem as you come into the D.C. area. The rest of the D.C. area looks pretty good. The loop is clear. A little bit of a problem over here on the southeastern corner. 66 looks pretty good coming in. So you look pretty good in the D.C. area with the exception of the southern part of 95 just as you get to the 95 loop and 295 also. As we look at Baltimore, Baltimore looks really a lot of green, folks. We have just a little bit on the southbound side, from just by Villanova all the way down to 70 and past to Mount DeSales and Catonsville, I'm going to call it. And then again, the northern loop always has a problem. We have it on the west and eastbound directions of 695 from Kearney all the way over to 795. So Baltimore, you got a pretty good commute this morning. Just be patient if you're in those areas along the Beltway, the Baltimore Beltway here on the western side of Baltimore this morning. Whoa, New Jersey cleared up a little bit, especially on the New Jersey side. 295, we've been having issues all week right here near Belmar. That looks clear this morning. 95, we got it in both directions along the river. That has been that way, and we are backed up, not to Conshohocken today, just backed up here by Belmont Hills. You get a little bit of a break, and then from Conshohocken north, you've got a little bit just inside the turnpike at 76 there. And then 476 has been bad all week. So Swarthmore, you all look great this morning on this Friday. It's not a holiday, is it?
No, but everyone works from home, and I think, or they work from home on Fridays, right? I think that's what it is.
Could be, because it looks great. Indy, you guys all look good. Just a small section here on the southeastern side of 465. You're looking right from 74 up to 40, and that is on the northbound side that you've got a problem. So again, your loop looks great. 70 passing through. There is 0 red coming through the downtown area. So again, Indianapolis, you have a nice commute going on this morning as well. All right, we're going to get into some weather. We've got some chilly weather coming in from the north and some winds again today. There you go. So by this afternoon, you can see Iowa City, Omaha, Nebraska, Kansas, you're all in the upper 30s. Oklahoma City, Lubbock, right? You're in the upper 30s. Let's see what we got right this minute, if we got any hot spots. It looks like most of them are north. So here, just on South Dakota, 46-mile-an-hour gusts. Folks, you can't drive if it's above 45, okay? If you're empty, you can't drive above 40. So again, you've got to make that life-protecting decision to get off the road. These are, again, if you use the windy.com app, all you do is go to the flag here, and it will give you the current wind. If you hit the little cloud with the sun, these are the forecasted wind potential gusts. So, and we've already, as I said, we've seen some 40s. There's 51 in South Dakota. So South Dakota area, if you're up in that area, drivers, you need to really find a safe place to pull over and see if these don't die down, because these are current wind gusts. So when I back it up to the current time, you can see all the dark purple, but again, we've got current wind gusts already in the 50-mile zone. So got to slow down. Any driver out there, if you experience these winds, pull over, find a safe place to park. Remember, if you're at a truck stop, don't park on the ends of a road. Try to get in the middle. The ends are going to be, if the wind gusts are strong enough, they will pick off the end trucks.
Hey, Bob, we got Mr. Andrew Zucchino.
Yeah, Zucchino?
Zucchino.
Andrew, what you got, buddy?
Self-muted, but your hand's raised.
Okay. We also have a 40-mile-an-hour gust already in Kansas, South Kansas, so the state there. So again, these are ever-changing. They're going to pick up, so we've got to be ready for that. And again, 70, you're going to have a problem coming across Kansas. Nebraska, 80. All these are going to be major problems today, especially if we zoom in a little bit. Let's kind of do that and see if anything else pops up, because we get a few more times, but no, it doesn't look like it. It looks like just here, just by the Colorado-Kansas state line and the center of Nebraska. Along 70 here, not much gust going on. Nope, not yet anyway. So hopefully that stays up north. So right now it looks like the main areas are going to be Nebraska, right? Iowa and north, the Dakotas. And we got one little pocket down here in Kansas that has one. Here's one just west of Denver, 48-mile-an-hour gust. Just north of Denver, 37-mile-an-hour gust. So again, folks, the wind is going to be a problem today. So you've got to be ready for that. It's just not worth the risk, right? Make sure when you go on these curves, you've got to be 10 to 15 miles under these speed limits. So let's go see what kind of precipitation we got coming up. So currently, let me zoom in a little bit out, I guess I'm saying. So you can kind of see we got some snow coming into Wyoming, South Dakota, just behind all that wind. We got rain out in front in Missouri, Illinois, moving into the Chicago area, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis, but you can see up there Fort Wayne, Gary, all of you are getting hit. It's pushing into Cleveland, so be ready for that. As we go through our day, the forecast, again, to stay rain out here in the Ohio Valley as it pushes into Pennsylvania. Denver, you start to see some snow around 3 p.m. this afternoon. Not supposed to be a major storm that I'm aware of. But again, your eyes and ears, if you hear something bad, remember, you have the ability to just shut her down. As we go into our weekend, let's see if it's going to continue. You can kind of see it turns into snow a little bit on Pennsylvania for tomorrow. And we have a little bit moving into Amarillo, Lubbock, Albuquerque, some wet snow. Again, just slow down. Probably not going to be grounding any trucks or anything. There's no ice showing up in any of this. Let's back it up and make sure there's no ice. No. So we don't see a whole lot of ice with the system. And then you can see by tomorrow afternoon, it kind of just dries up a little bit, just some little pockets. And then as we go into our Sunday, right, you can see the D.C. area. You're going to see some of that wet snow. And a little pocket comes back in here in the Springfield, Bloomington area of Illinois. But the rest of the country looks pretty good. And then we're going to get to start off next week with some pretty good weather. Let's see what our temperatures are real quick for these days as well, because I think a cold front does come in. Today you're going to see some pretty warm temperatures. There you go. Texas, we get up in the 70s today. St. Louis, 50s. So you can see a lot of the country warms. And then this cold front comes in tomorrow. And there you go. Dallas at 11, you're at 40, a 35-degree swing. Let's compare apples to apples. And 46. So you've got about a 29 to 30 degree change in 24 hours. So, folks, we do have a little bit of a cold front moving in over the weekend. And then Sunday, as we warm up, gets a little bit back. So you can see Dallas. Now you jump up from 45, right, in that 40s to 63 again. So it's going to be a brief little cold front pushes through. But all in all, it should be a pretty decent weekend for everybody. Hey, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with some more safety.
All right, welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. It is time to talk a little bit about safety. And Bob, I know we've been talking about backing up. What are we talking about? What is the topic, subtopic for the main topic today on backing up?
There you go. I couldn't have said it better. Number 5 is protect life. Okay, we always talk about protecting life. Backing accidents, just some numbers to go with our ideas of how to be safe when backing. They cause 500 deaths a year annually and 15,000 injuries, right? You know, and one of the things, you know, we always try to make it personal. If you knew there were people back there, if you knew your family was running around somewhere back there, you'd get out and look every time, wouldn't you? And that's really what you got to do. You have to get out and look. And folks, there's a little bit more. And Drive Safe, I'm going to have you share a little bit of a story. But there's more you got to do once you finish backing up.
Well, it was released today. There was a news story on the wire that talked about a man being crushed by his own rig between the dock and the truck. Another horrible incident. It may not have been backing up, but I'll tell you, the driver got out to go back there for whatever reason, whether to open the doors or to even go back there and look, right, for whatever reason. Not sure. They don't know the whole details yet, but what it does appear is the driver didn't set the parking brake or didn't set set the brakes on the truck when he went back there, and he got pinned between the truck and the dock and expired that way. I'll tell you, you've got to make sure you follow all the steps. Even when you get out of the truck, you got to make sure the truck is in park and the brakes are set. There are many instances. I can't tell you that number of times that trucks have rolled into something, rolled out of something, and if you get out of your truck to go back there and look, make sure you set the brake, right? You want to make sure that if ever you get out of a captain's chair, that the brakes to the big rig are set. There's no reason whatsoever you should get out of that captain's chair and the brakes aren't set in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You should never, ever, ever, for any reason, get out of the captain's chair unless the brakes are set.
Yeah, and you know, over the years, I've probably had to do at least 10 investigations where the brake wasn't set. And folks, one thing I want to impress upon you, we always talk about you will play how you practice, right? So you have to, when we say you got to do it every single time, there's a reason, so it becomes automatic, right? You have to slow the chaos down. Every backing accident I've investigated, every one where a truck wasn't, the parking brake wasn't set down, it comes down to one reason, and it's impatience. It's in a hurry, right? Every driver says, well, I was in a hurry to do this. So you got to ask yourself, why? Why can't you just slow down? That hurry has got to, there's nothing when you're driving that hurry helps. I mean, it just doesn't do it. So you've got to make sure you stay out of those situations. You have to slow that chaos down. You know, you hear a lot of, I was hearing the other day on football, and they said the game, when he's got good teammates around him, the game slows down for him. And, you know, we know the players don't go into slow motion. But it's just that process that because he's prepared so well and and everybody's doing their jobs around him, the game seems slow to where he can react better because it's just processing quicker because everything around him he's not worried about. Everything's doing good. And it's kind of the same way here, I think. If you're practicing that way, you can slow that game down a little bit so that you can make those good, safe decisions.
Yeah, and we want to make sure we want to make sure that you always, like we said, are careful when you get out and look, and that you set the parking brake. You know, I'll bet you that this truck was a 10-speed or a 13-speed. It probably didn't have an automatic. It probably did not have automatic transmission. But whatever the case, I don't care if you're setting the parking brake or whatever, or the truck in gear or not gear. I still want you to set the brakes on the truck. Make sure the brakes are set right. Get that air. Get that air back out of those brake chambers and let those brakes set because that truck will not roll. What do you got?
Mr. David Mason.
What's up, David?
Hey, good morning, David.
Good morning. I was going to tell a scary story that happened to me back in 1997. I just started driving, and I was taking my trailer out of reefer trailer. It had to be fixed over to Thermo King, and they had a flat place for the trailer to park outside, and they had like a ladder so they needed you to unhook from it. Well, the tractor was at a downhill angle, and I made the mistake of jumping out. I had the trailer brake set. I'd already rolled the landing gear down. I got in between. Of course, this was before the automatic fifth wheel release and all of that.
Oh yeah.
I got out in between those tires and I pulled that pin. And buddy, let me tell you, I'm lucky I was in my 20s. Right now, almost 50 years old. I don't think I'd have got rolled over. That tire rolled about probably 6 inches up my calf. And I got lucky I didn't lose a leg or something on that. But I got out of the way and managed to actually run up and jump in the truck and pop the brake. But you talk about scary. Now, that was enough to scare me. I ain't never forgot to set the brake since.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, but I don't want anybody else to have that incident. Hey, thanks for the story, but as we talk about it, thanks for that story. Bring it back to the reality of how dangerous it is to get those brakes set on that truck before you get out. Because when we tell people to get out and look, Bob, to go back there behind the truck, to go back there and look, we need them to set the brakes.
Yeah, and I love drivers. I want to encourage all of you out there. If you have these stories, we need to hear about them because, again, it lends credibility. These drivers, this show is designed to warn you and give you that expertise, especially if you're a new driver starting out, so you don't have to find out the hard way like David did, right? We bring these on to share these stories. So, folks, we need you to do that. And we got some videos I think we're ready to go into as well.
All right, let's do it.
A
little traffic here.
Well, bad accident. Looks like potentially over here on the side. Everybody's moving on the shoulder.
We got hazards going,
Yep.
emergency
I love
personnel.
the four-ways. You can see the four-ways flashing in the rear of that truck.
Debris all over the road.
Yep. Not a good picture. Good job of this driver. Warning everybody. The truck in front of him don't have the four-ways on, but the one on the side does, and this driver pulling through on the shoulder also has the four-ways on. Hopefully everybody was all right in that. It looks pretty bad. Here again, great job. Owning the space. You can see people flying by. Doesn't matter. Keeping this space here. Starts to get up, and then this guy's not moving. So, again, love to see the concrete, don't we, Dave?
Yep.
Or asphalt.
Whatever.
Guess it is.
It doesn't
Whatever
matter.
it is.
Whatever it is.
The roadway. Love this video. Folks, this is what you're all learning from these videos on the show. And I love this. I had to look this twice to find out what the heck it was going on. He stops and makes sure that pedestrian wasn't going to come across the road.
Yeah, good job.
Awesome job. And you do that because you're managing your speed and space here.
Big picture.
Yeah. Awesome job. Here, and you got some four-wheelers. You got to watch them late at night, right? Yellow line.
I see him on the left.
Yep. He's going to pass us in a no-passing zone.
Oh, yeah.
Great job of this driver. Just stay put. Slow down. Let them get by you quicker. They're already doing something wrong. Just kind of help them out. Good job. And this one here, again, have the speed and space. We haven't seen one of these in a long time, folks. And what you don't see is the chart. And so what you got to do is slow down quicker. When you see brake lights and you see the flashing lights and there's a bright light, hey, Don't wait till you get up on it, right? Right here, you can see the flashing on the side of the road. Start slowing down quicker. This driver was slowing down, but just a few miles per hour and almost got caught in a no man. Hey, get that speed out as quick as you can and as safely as you can. I'm not saying lock them up. I'm saying get that speed down another 15, 20 miles an hour, and then if you have to do this, you don't have the near nowhere to go kind of thing. But all in all, good job by this driver keeping the speed and the space. Just got to react a little bit sooner.
Hey, and then on the line, we got Mr. Larry Holt.
What's up, Larry?
Hey, Larry.
Guess another accidental.
Another mouse.
Yeah,
another mouse on the wires.
Another mouse.
Yeah, you know.
Oh wait, Bill Criddle.
Hey, Bill.
What's up, Bill?
Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing today?
What's up, man?
Good.
All right, I was going to share a story that happened to me when I first started driving. I started driving, and it was a GMC single-axle gas-burning dump truck. The brakes wasn't real good anyway, so and the truck wouldn't start unless I parked it on a hill and rolled it off. And I just parked it one day and stopped up there and done everything I did every day just to hold it there. And I come back the next day, my truck was gone. And I said, well, darn, somebody stole my truck. And got to looking, it had rolled down a hill and fell into a gully. And we just happened to come up on it and find it. And I thought it was stolen. But that's not doing it. You know, the old trucks that had the old brakes on it. And that's something that you never know what may happen.
Great point, Bill.
Yeah,
Wow.
you know, it decided to go. It was ready to go, and it said, you know what? It's time.
See, we had autonomous vehicles back then.
We did. Hey, you know what? Everybody's had some kind of roll story or break story. It's if you've been driving long enough, there's a moment in which you're like, did I push them or pull them? Did I push those brake knobs or to pull those brake knobs? And
if you ever have to ask that question, you need to go back in the truck and make sure, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, we got one more caller.
What do you got?
Lonnie Payne.
What's up, Lonnie?
Hey, Lonnie.
What's going on, gentlemen? How are y'all today?
We're doing well.
Great, sir.
I just had a story to share. It's kind of like David's. 1992, I was a senior trainer at Warner, and I was out on the backing track in Omaha working with a new student, and we heard something, and about 6 trucks away there was a guy that did the same thing David said. He forgot to set the brakes, and he pulled his pin. The truck actually rolled over him and crushed him. What we heard was his final screams, and we got over there, and there was just nothing we could do. It was one of the most horrific things I'd ever seen. And when we got him out from under the truck after the paramedics and all the emergency people got there, it was his first trip. He picked up a trailer in Lincoln, Nebraska, and brought it over to the yard in Omaha. And that was his very first trip out, period. And that was it. So, you know, I mean, it could happen to anybody, no matter your experience level, but it's just a good reminder to, you know, always make sure that we're doing the right thing. But that was one of the most horrific things I'd ever seen in my entire career. So, and I tell you what, it opened my student's eyes. He was like, holy cow, you know. He's like, oh, that'll never happen to me. I was like, well, it can happen to you.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And by the way, Lonnie, on a side note, we're going to talk to you on BCB. We'll talk to you at a different time, but I just wanted to say congratulations on your own personal milestones as you continue to truck, brother.
Yeah, it's getting close. We're down to months now, not years anymore. So, but it's 1 mile, 1 day at a time. You know how it goes.
10-4, brother.
sir.
I don't ever let up. Just keep doing it the same way. When I got my very first 1-year safe driving award, I called my grandfather and I told him about it. And I said, "What do I need to do? We need to sit down and map out a plan for next year." He said, "What'd you do for this year?" And I got kind of quiet, and he said, "That's right. You just keep doing what you did." So that was his deal. You know, he said, "You just 1 mile at a time, boy.
Keep
That's
plugging
all
away.
you do.
I'd love to met your grandpa.
Keep plugging away, right?
Hey, we do have some programming news.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Folks, this afternoon, the show will be 2:30, not 2:15, and it'll be remote from my office. And then same for the weekend. 7:30 tomorrow, it'll be remote, not from the studio, not at 7. And then on Sunday, our normal 9:30 will be at 7:30, so I can go to church. We got some programming difficulties, so we're going to, I will do it from home. But just make that, we'll get that announcement out to as many people as we can.
Absolutely.
But 9:30 on Sunday is now 7:30 for this Sunday only. So this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 7:30, and this afternoon will be at 2:30. Dave, you want to close us with a prayer?
Let's close with a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today to ask for your grace in all things. Father, give us the strength and the courage to go out and do your will upon the world as you see it. Also give us the ability to be a blessing upon somebody else today in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Give us that chance, that opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life today, not only by being safe, but by making sure that they understand they're important as well. Father, give us this strength each and every day to go out and help people be safe, help people be kind, and help people do your mission. Father, we ask all these things in your name we pray. Amen. We'll see y'all later. 2:15, 2:30 today.
2:30.
2:30 today. Bye, guys.